Come along with me and figure out how bad I am at everything. Hey brothers, this is Cam here from Hey Brother Outdoors. Today we're going to be making the ultimate router jig from the Jonathan Katz Moses store that I purchased and I created. And this is such an easy project, and if you're trying to make a shop type feel but you don't want all the tools, I mean, I don't have much room in here, so I'm trying to get a lot done with a very small amount. So I got the crosscut sled and now this ultimate router jig. I'll be able to do so much more with this router. One, edge guide. I didn't have an edge guide, now I do, but circle cutting, ellipse cutting, turn it over and make it into a router table. This thing does everything. Check out the link in the description to Jonathan Katz Moses video where he actually shows you how to do all this stuff. I'm not going to take the thunder away from him. He did all the hard work. I'm just showing you that a normal dude like me in his garage, my shop, can do this too. And all you got to do is get on Amazon and pay a little bit of money. I also made my own handles and we'll go over that in the video. All right, let's start with the printout. How do you print out a huge 12 by 24 inch plans to fit the acrylic glass that you order? Well, what I did was I hit the Google machine and found this website called, it's funny, but it's called Rasterbaiter. Yes. It takes a image that I got, which I got from a PDF that I got from the Katz Moses website, and then it'll enhance it to however many pages you want it to be. After many trial and error to make it a 12 by 24, pretty much to the T. I think I'm about a 16th off, okay, is 3.2 pages, all right, with no margin. I don't know if the margin's gonna affect it, but I did no margin and I was able to score down the lines. It's perfectly 12 by 24. I'm gonna put that on the plexiglass and go from there. So brothers, without further ado, let's get into this build. All right, brothers, so after I had spray glued adhesive the plans onto the 1/2 inch acrylic glass, I'm now center hole punching all the little targets that you can see on the plans. I also circled all of the holes that are going to be tapped from the top with Sharpie, and then when I flip it over, I'll circle the holes to be tapped from the bottom. All the holes except for the main router hole are going to be, I'm using a 3/16 brad point bit. And then, of course, they're going to be tapped with 1/4 inch tap based on the top or bottom. All right, brothers, so to get the router properly centered, and I just took the base plate off and taped it down with just some blue tape. Did the center hole punch right here. And then I was able to kind of just lightly mark with pencil inside each one of the holes that I'm going to screw in the base to. All right, so here I'm drilling the 3-inch hole for the router to lay on. That way you can have the router bit go through and all that stuff. What I found out real quickly is to not have your drill set on the highest level, which is hammer mode for me. And otherwise, unless you want wrist problems. So I put it on the highest level right below the hammer drill, so that way if it does catch, the clutch will engage. Also, big thing, don't press down. Just let the bit do its work and don't press down on it. Otherwise, you'll catch a lip and then you'll hurt your wrist. And it won't drill. So just let it go slightly. And I threw a little bit of oil on it. I don't think I needed to, though. And it'll go, though. You just got to wait. Be patient. Okay, here, brothers, I'm showing you, I'm circling the holes to be tapped from the bottom as I flip the plate. And then just going to use my 1/4 inch tap and then just go slowly down and slowly up, because it does engage the clutch a lot. It does create a lot of heat and friction. I don't want to ruin the bit or the glass, so I just go a little down until my clutch engages. I put it on about, level 5, 6, or 7, something pretty low level, and then just reverse out and keep going back and forth until you break the plane, go all the way through, or however far you want to go. All right, brothers, so here I'm using a 1/4 inch bit with my router. I don't have an edge guide. This is why I'm making a jig. But I sped this up 8 times. You can see exactly how slow I'm going right now. I'm going very slow to make sure I'm riding up against that MDF on the right-hand side. I kind of made a makeshift edge guide and riding my hand along it. It doesn't It's not entirely perfect, but it does the job. It's straight enough where I can now cut things very straight. It's not perfect. And then I use my little router level on the right hand side, and every time you turn, it goes down about 1/4 inch. So in order to break through the glass of a 1/2 inch glass, it took about 2 or 3 passes. So here I'm using my 1-inch dowels I got at Lowe's for about $2.50, and a 1/4 inch brad point drill bit right in the center of those dowels. I think I cut them at 4 inches. And then I just use some epoxy here, some 5-minute quick epoxy, throw it in the holes, and then put those hanger bolts that I also got at Lowe's, which are about $1.28. One side is 1/4 inch screw, and the other side is the 1/4 inch threaded insert, and they're about 2 inches long. So I'm just measuring and making sure that they're only sticking out about a 1/2 inch for my glass plate. For my semi-threaded inserts, I just took some 20-cent 1/4 inch bolts and just cut the heads off of them, smooth them out. All right, brothers, I'm using a scrap piece of red oak here that I squared up on the crosscut sled, and then I'm using a center score there, and then now I'm using a center hole punch. I know a lot of centers, but to make sure everything's square and dress right dress, that's what I'm doing. And then I mark a spot where I'm going to put these little handles I got on Amazon, very cheap. Get them on the link to for them on the Cat's Moses website. Then I use a spade bit here. I start with 1/4 inch like an idiot. Actually, it should be 1/2 inch for the hex bolts to go through, but actually you want them to be a little bit bigger, so I end up using 9/16 inch spade bits in order for the hex bolts to go through the wood. And then here I'm just assembling them, going through those 1/4 inch edge guide rails that I used my own makeshift edge guide to make, but now I can use these rails to clamp them together where the router bit protrudes there from the big old 3-inch hole, and then I'll be able to cut straight lines with my router. Pretty sick. There you go, brothers. Finished it, and I am so impressed with how easy it was, actually. Man, I can't believe I finally did it. Just getting out in the shop and getting stuff done. That's pretty much the mantra of my channel, is go do it. Even if you had a nice new router, this thing does a lot more than your edge guide does. So for an all-around shop, if you're trying to minimalize, which is kind of what I'm doing here, I used to have a miter saw, then I built a crosscut sled, and I returned my miter saw. So for if you're trying to do minimal in your shop, but you're trying to do a lot, this is definitely something you need to go buy from Jonathan Cat's Moses. The plan's $10, and then just get the stuff. He's got it all laid out in his video of all the stuff you need to buy, and I'm telling you, it's cheap. And if you do what I did with the handles, you'll save yourself 20 bucks. Every time I build something or whatever, it's giving me that fulfillment of why I started woodworking. And I can't believe there's only this in hunting that really got me this inspired to continue doing this same craft. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all the good stuff. Smash everything, and just smash the whole YouTube page. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because I'm just starting to reach out. And if you like anything that I make other than this, just go ahead and hit me up, and we'll talk prices or whatnot, because most of the people that are watching this are my actual brothers and close friends. So just hit me up, guys. And if you want to see what this router jig can do, I'm not going to take the thunder away from Jonathan Cat's Moses. Go look at his video. I'll post it in the description. And he shows you exactly what I'm talking about. If you can't visualize what I'm saying, he shows you everything that this will do for you. And just it inspired me to make this, so hopefully it inspires you to go make this if you need an all-around router jig like this. All right, brothers. Take it easy and teach your brother something.